Pete Buttigieg appeared on This Week, and as usual, he's a great communicator. He knows how to express himself and tell the story as it should be told, and he did just that with the potential Republican shutdown. He made it clear all the things that Republicans always complain about are the things that will be affected if they get this shutdown going sometime next week. Ironically, what the host told him is that the American public, according to a poll ABC has conducted, says they would blame mostly Democrats more so than Republicans for the shutdown. And I find that very ironic. The only way that could be the case is a failure of the fourth estate, a failure of the media. Right now, it should be plastered in every American's brain that Republicans and Democrats had a deal to prevent this, but that specifically Republicans have chosen not to abide by the parameters of the deal that they had. And in the process, they're trying to extract more and more. And it's not even most Republicans. It's likely 5 or 6 Republicans that are holding not only the Republican Party hostage, but the entire country hostage. And if America doesn't understand that that is exactly what is occurring, then yes, one can understand why they would blame the Democrats or keep equal blame or whatever. But it is the job of the media to point that out. And no matter what I hear, I continue to hear this side said this, the other side said this. It is time for the media to come clean. The fault of any potential shutdown is Republicans breaking a deal and Republicans doing all that is wrong to really shake things up. That's what it's all about. It's about getting clicks. It's about saying how bad they are, meaning these 5 or 6 or 7 or however many recalcitrant Republicans. Check how Buttigieg handled this with Martha Raddatz, and then we'll take it on the other side.
You bring up the shutdown. Do you see that as inevitable at this point?
I hope not, because in the event of a shutdown, we would have to immediately stop so many important activities in the Department of Transportation, like training air traffic controllers. After everything we've been through, after all of the disruptions to air traffic, to air travel that we experienced last year, this year, we finally see cancellations and delays back to normal. They're actually a little below where they were before COVID. This would be a reversal that nobody wants, nobody asked for. And I can't believe some of the very same congressional Republicans who get in line to try to beat us up anytime there's a travel disruption, even a weather-related travel disruption, are going to turn around and shut down air traffic control training. And that's just one example from one department that I happen to be very concerned about. So it better not be inevitable.
Secretary, our poll found that more Americans would blame Democrats for a possible shutdown than Republicans. How do you explain that?
I just don't think that's how it's going to actually play out in a Republican shutdown. This is because Republicans on the Hill can't even agree among themselves. And remember, Kevin McCarthy and Speaker McCarthy and President Biden made a deal. And that deal was tough for all sides. Frankly, it was tough for our department. It meant cutting back on some things we wanted to do, some funds we were going to use to improve roads and bridges and airports, but we accepted that because that was the deal that was made earlier this year. And now all we're doing is asking them to live up to that deal. If they can't be organized enough among themselves, if the House Republican Conference is in such chaos that they can't even accept the deal that they supported earlier this year, or in the words of one House Republican, take yes for an answer, then I think Americans are going to see very quickly how we got in that situation. And by the way, not only are they driving us toward a shutdown, but their position, the thing they're trying to use the threat of a shutdown to get, is further cuts that would also undermine things that the American people overwhelmingly want us to do. In the case of transportation, things like railroad safety inspection.
Buttigieg is very good at explaining things. And I imagine every single American that heard that likely wouldn't fall into the category that Martha Raddatz was talking about, that they are blaming the Democrats for this shutdown. But again, Martha Raddatz doesn't need to have a Pete Buttigieg defending the administration, but defending Democrats here. The media should be out there just telling the truth. Republicans are trying to hold the country hostage. The thing about it is, if for some crazy reason the Republicans and Democrats were to follow what those 5 terrorists want to do, the American people would revolt, because again, the things and the cuts that they want would put every person's lives in jeopardy. Again, there's only one party to be blamed if a shutdown has occurred. And that party, we know who it is.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.